this world that's filled with so much noise and information, how do we really stand out and be who we were really meant to be? In this podcast, we focus on injecting you with positivity, optimism, and strategies, all centered around helping you be who you were always meant to be in business and life. Be inspired to show up in your own skin, to learn strategies, habits, and skills from others as we share our own life journeys and stories. There's no other you, and you know yourself better than anyone else. So be prepared to take away habitual tidbits, tactics that will encourage you to pursue and live your life, not the one others want you to live. Welcome to Stand Out Be You, where you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be you. Tequila here with Stand Out Be You, and I'm glad you're here with us today. The guest we have on the show with us is helping individuals, particularly women, create a deeper connection with their inner self and discover how to experience more peace, power, and purpose. Today, I welcome Krysti Turznik. Welcome to the show. We're excited to have you on. Please fill in the gaps with anything that I have left out and tell us a little bit more about you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So it's really a pleasure to be here. And for me, I'm actually a new #1 best-selling author, a speaker, and a life coach. And it is my mission, really, to help people to get out of their own way and start living a life that fills their soul with meaning and value. So I utilize mindset, motivation, and meditation to help people connect with their authentic selves so they can really experience all of the miracles and the magic that life has to offer.
Yeah, and now one key word that I heard you say in there is mindset. Mindset is so important right now with everything that's happening around us and all the distractions that happen around us. Can you dive a little bit more into how did you come about doing all of this and how important is mindset?
Sure. My journey started actually through hypnosis. So I got a lot of training and background via understanding how the subconscious works and really identifying the importance of the self-talk that we have and the internal dialogue that is always taking place, how it is either making things easy for us or how it's making things very difficult. So we are really quite powerful creators in our life, and what we experience in life is really a direct reflection of what it is that we're thinking, because our subconscious looks into the environment that we're in and it finds those things that either meet or match our expectation, the things that we're saying to ourselves, and it will bring those things to the forefront. It'll bring those things to our attention. And everything else that is not in alignment with those things, we literally cannot see those things. We cannot recognize the opportunities that are opposed to what it is that we're believing or thinking to ourselves. So mindset is very, very critical with shaping the kind of life that you're looking for.
Yeah. Now, do you think that the mind is changing like today than what it was before? Do you think it's shifted a lot?
I don't think that the mind shifts. I think our personality unfolds so that as we learn new things, we are like peeling back the layers of rediscovering the truth of who it is that we are. And we're starting to get underneath all of the things that have been getting in the way of us really understanding who it is that we are and the things that we want for ourselves. So I think that who we are as a being, that's always constant. I think that mind itself is evolving in a sense of different levels of understanding, but all of that knowledge is already there. It's inherently within us. We just have to allow ourselves to unfold it.
I was reading and I came across I think it was a study that said our attention span really decreased. I think before it was like the attention span of like a goldfish, but now I think it's even less that I was reading. How do you go about getting that attention or increasing that attention? Is that something that you work with and do with individuals?
Yeah, I think it really has to do with setting your intention for what it is that you want for yourself. So if there's something such as a goal that you want to accomplish for yourself, then you need to make that a priority. And it allows you to really determine what is important to you and what's not. And it helps you to have that single thing to focus on. So there's always going to be a lot of distraction. that comes at us, and it's whether or not we're choosing to engage in that distraction. Because if something is important enough, we are not going to allow those things that are going on around us to sway us from what it is that our purpose is.
Now, do you have like strategy steps that someone would do in order to move into that direction of being able to organize their attention or get their mind organized in order to remove the distractions that are there?
Yeah, what I suggest to clients a lot is really to begin by being a silent observer to what's going on with your thoughts. So don't attempt to do anything with them at first. Really just be aware of what's going on and take notice if it's something that's beneficial for you and your goals, or if it's something that you need to modify. So that's really the starting point. And then the things that you're happy with, continue to think on those very strongly. And the more that you can put feeling into those things, the faster you're going to bring those to you. The things that are out of alignment with your dreams and the things that you want, those are the things that you need to shift. And a lot of times, what I have found is if you are able to flip that negative thought that you have into its positive, whatever that might be, then you're really going to be drawing things more to you. So for example, if you don't want all of the stress that's going on around you, the opposite of that would be you want more peace. So you focus on the peace that you want in yourself. And the more that you're thinking on those things, the easier it is going to be for you to find those things that you're affirming to yourself in your world. And all of the distraction that does not match that, it just goes away. You literally just don't have the awareness of it.
Now, how did you go about starting into all of this, Krysti? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah. So my story started when I was 17 years old, and I was diagnosed with a heart condition. And basically what happened is every time I stood up, I would get dizzy. So I had to make very deliberate and slow movements from sitting to standing. And for a teenager, this was very excruciating for me. So it felt literally like my life was in slow motion. I could feel all of my dreams just kind of crumbling. And I settled into what I call like a half-life, where I knew that I wasn't going to be able to achieve the things that I wanted for myself because of this limitation that was present. So I accepted what was going on for about 4 or 5 years or so. And then at one point I was in the shower and I had just stood up from reaching down, and all of the symptoms started to happen again, and I started getting dizzy. But for whatever reason at that moment, I had enough. And I literally in my head, I shouted, no, I screamed, no, I don't want this. And I started to do my inner work. As soon as I made that declaration of what it is that I wanted, the symptoms passed. And over the next year and a half, I started to focus on what it is that I wanted. I tried to understand what this heart condition was representing to me and in my life, and how I might be able to understand that in a deeper way. And what's curious is that as I started doing my inner work and healing those things, the heart condition resolved itself. So I know very powerfully and very intimately how the mind and body go hand in hand, and how everything in our experience is really just a reflection of what's going on inside, and it's offered to us as an opportunity for deeper self-reflection. So that's really how my story starts, and just through the journey of personally understanding the power that we have, and then knowing that so many of us don't understand that, we don't recognize that we can actually start to create things for ourselves, that we have the ability to bring amazing miracles and truly what's magic into our life. So I got on this path where it's really my mission to help people understand that they can start to trust in themselves and the choices that they make, and know that whatever it is that is in their life at the moment is there for a purpose. So as soon as they understand and take a very deep look at that, they can make tremendous strides forward and accomplish greatness.
Yeah, what a story. Thank you for sharing it.
Absolutely.
Now, with that happening to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're now helping individuals based on what occurred in your life, correct?
Yeah, not so much focusing on like the healing aspect of things, but really helping people to understand that at the deepest level, we are powerful creators. So when I work with people, it's teaching them to turn inward for all of the answers, because I believe that for every question that we have, we already intimately know the answer. We just haven't figured out how to ask it in a way that we can understand, or we haven't trusted the fact that the answer will appear when we're ready, because we're all very gifted. We're divine beings that have all of the connection to everything else that's going on in the world. So it's really just showing people the power that they have within themselves, and knowing that by establishing a deep spiritual connection with themselves and the source, whatever they interpret that to be, of all things, that when you work hand in hand, you can create such wonderful blessings and such magic in your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, let's say someone's listening right now and they feel that they want to go through this process that you're speaking about right now. Could you give us like overview of what they would do? How would they go from this point to the next point?
Sure. There are several specific things that people need to understand. First of all, you need to identify a clear direction. What is it that you really want? When you have achieved success, whatever that is for you, how will you know when you get there? You need to be very clear and very specific about what that is. Then once you understand where you're going, you need to have a plan of what are the specific steps that you need to take in order to accomplish that. And then a lot of self-confidence building is very important, because you need to trust and believe in your skills and your abilities and your experience, and know that all of those things that you have experienced up until this moment in time have prepared you for that next step. So it's really embracing who it is that you are and welcoming all of your uniqueness. And then really getting deep with all of your mindset work, so the areas of self-sabotage, how are you getting into your own way, and shifting it into something that is going to be more helpful for you. You can be your best cheerleader, or you can be the person that's pulling you down the most. So really making sure that you are your best advocate for accomplishing your goals. And then a lot of other things that we talk about are really things like we were talking about before, of stress reduction. How do you minimize the distraction? And it encompasses everything from, the noise and the chatter that other people are going to be telling you, and also your environments. What does your physical environment look like? Because it, again, is a direct reflection of what is going on inside for what you're experiencing outside. So if you take a look at your home or your work environments, if they are very chaotic, if they're messy, that's a direct reflection of what's going on inside. And also, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are the people that you're spending the most time with, are they going to be advocates for you as well? Or do you need to maybe spend less time with those and focus on more positive things? And then again, just making sure that your mindset is in the proper frame for you to accomplish all of these things. So it's really a combination of all of the factors that are going into what is it going to take in order for me to accomplish my goals.
Now, out of all those factors, one that really stood out to me is self-sabotage. Do you see that happening a lot with individuals, or are some of the other factors a lot higher than that?
Yeah, I think every person has self-sabotage in some form. There is a common saying, with a new level comes a new devil. So what that means is you can get past your current self-sabotage, your limiting thoughts, your limiting beliefs, and then you can up-level yourself, and then you're going to be at that point for a while. And then when you're ready for that next step, whatever that is, there are going to be more things that kind of creep up for you. So there tends to always be some sort of thing that kind of creeps up. So you're always growing, you're always evolving, you're always going to be challenging what it is that you thought. And this is where it's just the peeling of the onion and really getting down to who it is that you're, your essence. Because once you're there, then you're able to truly create wonderful things quite quickly, because you've connected with who it is that you are. But really, all of us, we're all dealing with some sort of self-sabotage, some more than others, but it's playing a part in our lives. Unless we're really addressing it, it's definitely there.
You're helping individuals, which I think is just, everyone should be applauded when they're really going out and they're digging deep within themselves in order to dig deep within others to help them get to a better place. Who has inspired you to do what you're doing now?
That's a really great question. And a lot of my inspiration has come from distant mentors. So Wayne Dyer was a very strong and powerful inspiration for me because he was a person who really started to say things and speak in a language that spoke to me in the deepest way. So there was a level of understanding and truth that I heard with him. And like, even as I say this, I'm getting the shivers, which is, for me, it's a spiritual confirmation that, I'm onto the correctness of that. So people like that, like Wayne Dyer and Marianne Williamson and people along that path have really inspired me to start exploring inward and to really allow myself to have a bigger vision for myself than what I had originally thought was possible.
And why? What keeps you going? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to impact the world?
I think that we all have a really beautiful and important light or message or purpose that we're here in this experience needing to share for everyone. So the sooner that we're all able to step into that pureness of who it is that we are, I think the sooner and the faster we're going to be able to not only connect with each other in a more deep and heartfelt way, but I think that we're also going to be able to uplevel the entire world and the existence of humans just by stepping into who it is that we truly are.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And where do you see all of this going? What you're doing and how you're helping individuals, how you're sharing your story and sharing your message. What's your want for it? Where do you hope, or what's your dream for all of it?
Yeah, so what I am hoping for and where I see myself going is I really see myself sharing my message with a large audience. And as I share my message, there's the ripple effect that's taking place. So I'm not only impacting that one person, but literally I'm impacting generations to come, because a single shift in someone's core belief of who it is that they are or what is possible for them is going to be translated down the generations. It's going to be passed on. So what I do with one person in this moment, it's really going to be having tremendous impacts on the world to come.
Yeah, awesome. So it's been such a pleasure to really speak with you, Krysti, here today and have you share your story with us and share with us what you are doing and how you're helping others. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you have to offer for individuals and how we can best get in touch with you?
Sure, absolutely. I have a 3 series of meditations that I am sharing with people on really how to, again, trust yourself and shift from chaotic environment to experiencing more peace and more calm. So those are free on my website, and my website is powerful-mind, that's mind.com. And, you can go there and take a look. I also do have a coaching program. It's a one-on-one, private consultation. It's called Align with Destiny, to fast track who it is that they are and really start to embrace everything that it is that they have to offer. You can find out more about my recent book that I have published and, get that there. It'll offer a lot of insight and other meditations that are available as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So this next portion, I like to really go into personality.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you personality questions so that we can get to know a little bit more about you, to put you on the spot.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So what would you, Krysti, tell your 10-year-old self about life?
Ooh, I would say it's not as scary as you think that it is. I really struggled with finding my voice. Back then, I was the girl who would sit in class, and I remember the boys in front of me and behind me in the line of desks, literally every day, they would say, just say something, say squeak, like say, just the smallest little word. And I didn't even believe in myself enough to say the simple words. So I would just say, trust yourself, and it's not as scary as what you're making it out to be.
So true. What's the farthest city that you've traveled to from your birth city?
Oh, that I haven't gone far, unfortunately. I was born in Wisconsin, so the farthest that I have gotten is Hawaii. So I suppose that is the farthest. So Oahu.
If you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
Ooh, I would be a cat. I think that they are one of the most honest animals that are around. You definitely know what's going on with the emotions of a cat. And also they have a tremendous life. They get to lay in the sun all day and just relax and snuggle and get loved. So I would be a cat.
My daughter would love you. She would love to live in your house.
Yeah.
Last question is, what's the story behind your name?
My mom was supposed to have received my name. My full name is Christina, but my grandfather didn't like the name. So he kind of vetoed it. So when my mom heard this story, she wanted to honor her mom. So she named me that name as well.
Yeah, and it's spelled differently, yeah?
It is spelled differently, yeah. So that's my own little twist on that, just adding my own personality to that. So, yeah, it's different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our names tell a lot about ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Tequila.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Krysti, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show and have you share your story with us. Do you have any parting words for the audience that's listening?
I would just say who you are in this moment is perfect and wonderful, and you are exactly in the right place at the right time. And if you only believe in yourself, you really can make the world a better place by trusting who it is that you are and who it is that you're meant to be.
And there you have it from Krysti herself. I will link all of her information in the show notes. And as always, everyone who's listening, remember to stand out, be you, and that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And if you're interested in sharing your story, please go to tequiladodard.com.